Good morning, everyone. This is teacher Arlene Villasanti Helio once again. I'm back for another video presentation on writing the background of the study. After identifying a research topic, you have to situate your research in a particular academic field. This is where you establish the background of the study. The background of the study introduces important facets that establish the general context where the study revolves. This part may include the description of the subjects of the study or the history involving the research. Let us use an example showing how to establish the background of the study. You may want to conduct a study on the effects of traffic on your city. To establish the background of the study, you need to discuss several aspects describing your topic. For instance, you may first provide a brief overview of the changes in the traffic situation in your city through the years. Then, you may discuss and determine the effects of heavy traffic situation on both passengers and motorists. Finally, you may explain the factors that contribute to heavy traffic in your city, like increase in the number of vehicles on the road and problems in the enforcement of traffic rules and regulations. Another important component of the background of the study is establishing the research gap. The research gap is an issue that has not been fully addressed by previous studies. Doing this helps you show where your research stands in the academic field. Here are the four components to consider in establishing the research gap. First, the current state of the field. This is where you state the present situation about the issue that you have in your study. Number two, the current and conventional practice in addressing the issue. You tell here the interventions or solutions done to address the problem or issue about the topic. Number three, the research gap. This is where you state that in spite of all the interventions done, the issue or the problem continued to exist. This is where you convince your readers that there is really a need for you to conduct that study. Number four, the contribution of the present study in addressing the research gap. This is where you state the benefit that readers or other researchers can get from your study. Let us consider this example. The title of the study is Effects of Singapore Math on Developing the Mathematical Logical Skills of Filipino Students in Selected Public High Schools in the Philippines. The first sentence is the first component, that is the current state of the field. It states an overview about developing students' mathematical logical skills. So it states many forms of instruction, both traditional and alternative, have been introduced to develop students' mathematical logical skills. The second sentence is the current and conventional practice. So it states one approach that continues to be widely used in Asia is Singapore math. So this is now focusing on the solution or intervention that was already made before or that was implemented before to develop students' mathematical logical skills. And the succeeding sentences is the third component, that is the research gap. So it states, though many studies have attempted to substantiate its effectiveness, there remains a dearth of empirical studies that have investigated the effectiveness of Singapore math in the Philippines. As Corpus in 2015 argued, there is a need to conduct more studies on approaches that will help Filipino students become equipped with the necessary mathematical skills which are on a par with their Asian counterparts. So here, the research gap should convince the readers that in spite of the intervention already made, the problem continues to exist and there is really a need to conduct the study. And the fourth one is the contribution of your study or the present study. So you have to state here what readers or other researchers can take advantage from your research. So you have the lines. Following that suggestion, this study investigated the effects of Singapore math on developing the mathematical logical skills of Filipino students in selected public high schools in the Philippines. So that is how you develop the research gap in your background of the study. So you consider the four components. In the sample that we have here, there is only one paragraph, but it does not mean that you should also one paragraph only. This is just used as a sample for this topic. So in your own research paper, you may have one paragraph or more for every component. Okay, so I think that would be all for this sample. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video on formulating research questions.